Finally, my first video here after talking about it for months, so let's get straight to it. What I'm showing here is the project management worksheet. I have encountered circumstances like, hey, what is the current status of getting part? And could you email me a list of what you're currently working on? I get many of these requests from my boss and my clients, so I gradually developed this worksheet and have been using it for my employers. This template includes a few functions. It includes keeping track of all your projects and put all your entries in a chronological order. And you could open your project folder directly from this spreadsheet. This is another typical example. We see that the structural part is pending on September 6th for some reason. And a few months later, my boss might ask me why it is not finished. Then there's a very good chance that I would forget what have happened. So I hover over my mouse. Oh, it is pending because I have been waiting for some bridge information from a person named Charles, and I have requested for it on September 1st already. I'm not sure about other industry, but in the construction industry, it will be very helpful to see all your projects at a glance, especially when most projects are oftentimes lagging for months and years. This is a template. I have predefined some formulas here and here for later use, and this spreadsheet is running on macro, so if you don't know how to enable macro, there are plenty of instruction online and I'm not gonna get into it. Before constructing a directory, you would need to know the file and folder structure of your company. So for example, my company is sorting project by years, 2008, 2009. So 2008 include a Huckleberry project and 2009 include 3 projects. So corresponding to it, my spreadsheet here have year and the project name. So what you need to do is to type in 2008 and Huckleberry. You need to do this every time when you get a new project. So let's do the next one. 2009 I have Garing Park, and you need to know the name here and the name here need to be exactly the same as what you have in your folder. So another one would be 2009 Napa. Oops. Alright, to save time, I already have a list of some of my projects. You also notice here's the sub-project list because some of my projects do have different phases and location within it. And you would also notice there are 2 empty columns here. I put it here because your company folder structure might be different from mine. For example, 2 of my company that I worked for before have put projects based on different clients and different city. So in case you have a different structure from mine, you could customize it here. You could change it in these columns and add if you need it. Next two column is the node's milestone and the due date. And let's hide these two columns first because I don't need it. You would notice here too, I put home because I'm located at home right now, and this spreadsheet is located at my home computer, and you could change to office. Notice the directory here already changed to P drive from what I had before. I defined this main drive at the legend here. Home is D drive and QS, corresponding to my main folder here. So you could just copy this one and the QS to this cell. And in case I'm in my office, the main directory is the P drive. So you could define this in order to relocate your project to different computer. The next step would be to set this task here. Let's go back to my company. You notice here have civil structure as the engineering design in my company. So in case you have different tasks, you could change it here too. Let's put a few here. I'll just use my company task again. Civil structure, landscape, let's put 3 for now. So I basically have the spreadsheet set up already, and the next step would be to enter the data. And before that, I want to explain the task, the action I predefined here. RC means receiving a task, and PD means that project is pending. And you could add your own action down the road and change your format as you like. Let's go back to the main dish and do a few examples. So today is September 27, 2020, and let's say I receive a task in civil design. So I would enter 2020 September 27, and remember a space here and RC, or else the macro won't work. Enter. Oops, it doesn't work. Let's see. I think it's here because before, when I was making the setting here, I turn on the design mode, so the macro doesn't work. Let's try again. 2020 09 27 RC. Alright, it works. You notice the format here has changed to whatever you define in the legend. And if your mouse hover over it, a window pop up with whatever you type in. Let's say day pass and I finish the task and email it to somebody. I change it to September 30th email and enter. The format change, and your action and date appended to the history of your project and your task. Alright, to save time, I already finished some of these cells, and you notice the dates here is sorting chronologically, and this is doing it automatically. Let's say I finished this structural test for gearing part at September 31. Oh, September doesn't have a 31. Let's say October 1st, and I email it to somebody. It will automatically up to the topmost row. So let's say my boss asks me the status of all my current project. I just crop and paste this one into my email and send it to him. And the next function of this project would be a lookup function. Let's say I want to look for a project whose name include Barry. You could press Ctrl Shift F and it will go to a search box on the top leftmost corner of the spreadsheet, or you could just click on it. Let's type Barry. And the Huckleberry project would go to the top, and a window of that project would pop up. And just remember, make sure this main directory is set to the location of your spreadsheet. This will conclude our video. This spreadsheet can work for a typical company that have project-based deliverable and dynamic change in its project. You could download it from my website and start customizing one. My next video will be specifically for engineers. Ellipse function in AutoCAD to draw drum line. So see you in the next one.